Hi, I'm Kim Gardner, owner of Align Pilates and Dance Conditioning in San Jose, California. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises working on scapulohumeral rhythm, a very long phrase that just means we're working on the best possible function of our shoulder blade and arm together. And this relates to our ballet dancers in using their port-de-bras in a way that doesn't overutilize those upper traps. This works for our ballroom dancers who need to hold their frame, and to anyone else who is looking to improve their posture and the general mechanics of their shoulder. So with me is Allie, one of my lovely instructors, who is going to be my model. So first, Allie, if you can stand up and turn your back to the camera. Allie has a lovely physique here, but like many of us who have maybe a slight obliquity or a mild scoliosis, you might be able to see just a very mild little curve here, and you can see a slight elevation here. So you can see maybe more wrinkles on her shirt on the right. So that's showing that this side is a little more compressed than this side, just as a mild imbalance, which might not bother most folks. For other folks, it might lead to some upper back and shoulder issues or just kind of an improper function of the scapula. You can also see a little bit of what we call winging in those shoulder blades where they're poking out. So ideally, those shoulder blades lay flat on the rib cage, and go ahead and take your arms en dedans up to fifth. And here you can see the line of that medial border of the scapula. That lower tip has just moved out, as it should. Go ahead and lower your arms. Now do it again for us and use those upper traps. Do it incorrectly. There, so we see a lot more over efforting here that we don't need. Go ahead and lower down. And for some folks, if we're very tight in our lats or our pecs, we might be very limited in even getting the arms up. So these exercises address all of that in a nice, comfortable way you can do in your own home. So go ahead and lay on your side, Allie, first facing the wall. This way you can see her upper back. I've given her a pillow. You can put your bottom arm under the pillow for a little added height. So we're trying to get the neck into neutral there. Yeah, maybe bring your arm under the pillow a tad more just to elevate it slightly. And I'm also going to give her a wedge for between her knees just to help her pelvis line up better and help her hips feel comfortable. So as she lies there, you can see gravity is creating a little drop here, and this side is elongated. And we're going to focus first on the breath. And I'm going to ask Allie to really breathe into the left side of her rib cage. So go ahead and inhale, and then exhale, relax back down. And again, inhale. So you see that side rise. It's actually, this is a bit of a stretch for these paraspinals and those intercostal muscles. And again, inhale. Something as simple as that is already starting to stretch. And again, inhale. And down. Now focus that up a little higher around the lower tip of the shoulder blade, because that's going to be our area of focus. Inhale, exhale, release. And again, inhale, you can see that opening, and release. Good. Now we're going to do an exercise I call scapula box. This is not like your shoulder roll. This is very one-dimensional, as if she's stuck between two panes of glass. So Allie, let me have you bring your arms straight up to the ceiling. And I'm going to ask her to bring her shoulder blade up to her ear, let it fall towards her spine, towards the floor, slide down the rib cage, and then reach to the ceiling. And as she does, I'm going to have her bring her pinky forward, a little external rotation here, which helps us stay out of the upper trap. Again, up to your ear, to the floor, down the ribs, up to the ceiling. Again, to your ear, to the floor, down the ribs, up to the ceiling. Again, up, and thankfully she's wearing a perfect outfit to really help us see the movement of her shoulder blade. One more. Good. Now I'm going to have her reverse. So go to the floor. And this, let's just stay there a moment. This is often where we find ourselves. Sometimes for the dancers and trying to open the chest, they unwittingly kind of squeeze those shoulder blades together. So this is not a place we have strength in. Now go up to your ear and then up to the ceiling. When you go to the ceiling, you're going to slightly externally rotate, which help drop that scapula, get her out of her upper traps. Then slide down the ribs to the floor, to your ear, to the ceiling, down the ribs. Again, to the floor, to the ceiling, or sorry, up to your ear, now to the ceiling, and down the ribs. One more time. Good. And now we're going to stay here where the scapula is nice and wide on the back. And now I'm going to have her arc her arm overhead. For our dancers, it's that high fifth. And the scapula, the lower tip, makes a little line this way. And then turn your palm, and as if you were underwater, press your palm back down to your hip. And now, like you're scooping the water back up. Good. And follow the line of that scapula up. Right, so it's going like so, and then back down. Good. Now I'm going to have her add that lateral breathing. So inhale into here and arc the arm up. Good. So now we've opened this up and lower back down and relax in the breath. Again, inhale and back down. Good. Good. Now, we're going to add one more thing to this. I'm going to have her flip around to the other side. Go ahead and come sit up for just a moment. And we're going to do this in a slightly elevated position. At home, you could use a wedge if you have one. You could just fold a pillow or use a cushion. I'm going to have her now side lying over this little arc here. Actually, it's a big wedge. And this time, I'm having her in a bit of a stretch. Let's see, go that way, and then I'll give you the pillow. So the side, if you remember, let's see, let's get it up a little more. There. Okay, now lay over. Right. That's it. Okay. So if you remember, this was the side that was shortened, that was kind of, we saw more wrinkles on earlier. So now I'm placing her in a position that helps to already open this up. So if you know on your own body, many of you are really tuned in to your own issues. This is a setting you could use to help just open up those tight areas. So now go ahead and take your right arm up again. And as she's here, this side is just relaxing this way. This is now open. And I'm just going to have her do the arm arc again. So go ahead and inhale into your right side and arc the arm. And now we have just a little more elongation. And then turn the palm and press towards your hip. And again, inhale, open this up. And turn the palm and arc back down. Now, we're going to add one last thing. I'm going to use a togo ball here. You could use a roller if that's what you have, or even a rather under-deflated gym ball. So we're going to use this because it's about the right height to bring her ankle in line with her hip. So we're going to add a little glute med finder as well, that lateral glute. Let me have you just bring your hand in front for a second. So on that short side, go ahead and hike up again here. So along with the breath and the arcing of the scapula, we're going to add the elongation here of her waistline by utilizing that lateral glute. So she's pushing the ball away and then relaxing, letting it go back down. So we're going to do that with the arm arc. So take your arm up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, push the ball away and arc the arm. And then go ahead and bring the arm down and relax. And again, inhale, arc the arm. Good, and we're just gonna watch. I've got my hand here because I don't want her to kind of rock back. I'm also looking to make sure she's keeping her abdominals engaged so she's not arching her back. And then arc back down. And again, inhale. And push away, lengthening here. Good, just to further open that up and to start tuning into that lateral glute. Now, go ahead and just take a nice stretch. You can let that go, and you can take your leg off the ball and just enjoy the stretch there. Good. All right, do you feel a good stretch? Mm-hmm. All right, good. Okay, go ahead and bend your knees. And then go ahead and turn and face this and help yourself up, 2 hands. And then come sit up and see how you feel. Good. Good? Mm-hmm. All right. So thank you. I hope you find some of that useful. Thanks for joining us.